they're providing the light, then I don't have to like carry anything, and we're here in this gorgeous place with like nice natural light coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, friends, welcome back to On Location Vancouver, brought to you with the support of TELUS Story Hive. I'm your host, Zara Durrani. Our coverage of the 44th Annual Vancouver International Film Festival continues, where we get to bring you in-depth interviews with filmmakers, artists, talent from Canada as well as around the world. Joining me now is Jennifer Chiu, whose film Clan of the Painted Lady will be premiering at the festival. Jennifer, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm good, thank you. I'm feeling good.
Are you excited?
I am really excited, yeah.
So tell us about Clan of the Painted Lady.
So Clan of the Painted Lady is a personal documentary that I made about my journey tracing my family's migration story from China to India to Canada. And it's also an exploration of my Hakka heritage. And it's something that I learned a lot about over the last few years. The Hakka people are known as the nomadic people of China, and so our origin story is kind of mysterious. You know, they say that we originated somewhere in the north of China and then spent 1,000 years migrating eventually to the south, and then from there spreading out all across the world.
China also neighbors Pakistan. So I know a lot of family members who went to China for work and everything. I've never really had an opportunity to go other than spend some time in Guangzhou, but it's certainly on my list of places to go and experience and adventure around. What are you hoping audiences will learn, and what kind of conversations are you hoping that they will have by watching Clan of the Painted Lady?
I mean, I hope that it will inspire people to ask questions of their own families and to become curious about their own traditions and backgrounds. I feel really strongly that we are in, I think, a crucial moment now where there's so many cultures that are facing extinction. And that's not just in the Western world, that's actually everywhere. I know just from friends who are Hakka, who grew up in Guangzhou, you know, they are saying that even now there are Hakka people who don't speak Hakka even in China, just because everyone's speaking Mandarin now. People are moving out of the villages where, you know, they have more contact with elders or people who have kept the languages and certain traditions. And so, yeah, I'm hopeful that it will make people just value their own traditions and cultures and try and learn more about them.
That seems to be a theme today from the conversations that I'm having. I can relate very much. You've mentioned it's a personal and collective story. How did you balance being a filmmaker and, you know, diving in? I'm sure it must be healing and emotional at the same time.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I would say, you know, making a personal film, it's a lot of hard work. I think there's a lot of emotional journeys that you go through, and especially working with my family as well. You know, for them, the first 3 years that we were in development, they actually didn't want to be in the film, and so very, very last minute, right before we went to camera, they agreed to, and that was really lovely, because I think in the beginning you know, I understood why they didn't want to be in the film. They're quite private people themselves, so, and I feel like I have that in me too, so it took a lot for me to also be in my own movie. Yeah, sorry, you were saying balancing just being a filmmaker. Yeah, I think that it was definitely a negotiation for me to balance being both in front of and behind the camera.
And the filmmaker who you met briefly, Kent,
Yes.
a similar story, but I think also very important conversations and healing. I'm sure for yourself, but also for audiences who will get to watch. I moved from Pakistan to Canada at 17, so almost 26 years ago, and you know, and sometimes there is like internalized colonialism around when it comes to language and culture, traditions, even food, and you know, because you're hoping to find success and here out west, but there is, you know, I'm glad that filmmakers like you and Kent exist who are reminding us to connect to your roots, you know, even if you're calling and finding success here, which we're so all grateful to live here. Migration, language, and memory are powerful threads in this film. What did you learn about yourself while making this film?
No one's asked me that actually, so this is, I have to think a little bit about that. I think what I learned about myself is that, God, that is a really good question. I think, well, something that kind of came to the surface for me was that when, you know, it was a curiosity within myself that kind of drove me to begin the project in the first place. But I think now I realize that when I thought that the film would help me in some way to process or bring closure of some kind. I'm not sure exactly to what, but I thought that that's what would happen. But I think what I realize now, especially, you know, the film hasn't even had its premiere yet, but I know for myself and just the community connections that I made, and even this growth of my relationship with my family in the process of making the film, I think I realized that the film itself is actually more of like an activation point for me. And so what I learned about myself is that I have a lot to learn, and I have a lot more that I want to engage in, even beyond the making of this film.
And I'm sure it's going to lead to a lot of conversations. Now, the Hakka story spans continents. What does this global journey reveal about resilience and belonging?
So I've thought a lot about this because one of the questions that I had for, especially a lot of my Hakka participants and all my my new friends that are in the film, I wanted to understand what it was that bound us together. You know, what is it that we really share when so many of us are from completely different backgrounds? Some of us grew up in Jamaica and in Mauritius and Vietnam and Taiwan, Canada. I think in the end, what I realized that we share is it's a story. We share a story of being part of this very long journey that began in a specific place in China, but is continuing onwards across the world. So I think that to me felt really kind of powerful. That is really what binds us together. So.
For audiences who are watching this live at the moment, because broadcast it'll be up in a couple of weeks, but we will be sharing the live streams. When can they expect to watch your film, and several different show times, which we'll make sure to share the link, from the VIFF official website, if you don't mind sharing that with us.
Of course, yes. So you can catch my film on Monday, October 6th at 6 p.m. Also on October 9th, that's a Thursday at 3:30 p.m. That's playing at the VIFF Center. Screening on the 6th is playing at Fifth Avenue Cinema. And the film will also have its broadcast premiere in British Columbia, but also available all over Canada in May 2026.
Amazing! Congratulations!
Yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. Thanks for having me on.
And where's the broadcasting?
It's broadcasting on Knowledge Network.
Brilliant!
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Remarkable. How has reconnecting with your heritage changed your sense of what it means to be Canadian?
That's a very good question as well. I think I've always been very grateful for, the privilege of getting to live in this place on Indigenous lands, and I think that it's allowed me actually to appreciate just how diverse the idea of being Canadian is. Somewhat in the same way as the film is also an exploration of Chinese identity, but with a very specific focus on Hakka. But it's allowed me to think past the idea of monolith sort of descriptions of what it is to be Chinese or Canadian. So I think it's expanded my idea of what both of those things are.
If your ancestors could watch this film, what would you imagine for them to say about it?
Sorry, that question makes me feel emotional because I prayed to them while I was doing the film, and I knew that they were, sort of guiding me on this, and I would always ask them sort of in meditation, what is it why am I doing this? Because sometimes it wasn't easy, you know. But I hope that I just hope that they're proud of my efforts. I hope that they feel like I honored the story of our people.
Beautifully said. Well, thank you so much. I know you have to run. Before we let you go, lastly, I'd love to hear what advice would you give to aspiring filmmakers out there, especially women filmmakers and minorities?
I would say believe in yourself, and just keep trying. You know, it took me 10 years to get to this place where I am right now, making my first feature. So just keep on trying, and community, I think, is everything. You know, make connections with people in the city who are also aspiring to make films or making films. We actually have a really beautiful and supportive community of filmmakers here. So just get involved and don't be discouraged. It takes time.
Completely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come out. I know you're going to be running around everywhere. It's a very busy time of the year, festival season. Congratulations, Jennifer, and I'm really excited to sit down and properly watch it in the theater. And
Thank you.
are you going to be present for any
Yes.
Q&As
I'll be
for both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be present at both the screenings for October 6th and October 9th.
Amazing. Congratulations again, and make sure to check out Clan of the Painted Lady. Until next time, I'm Zara Durrani, and this is On Location Vancouver, brought to you with the support of TELUS Story Hive. We'll see you soon. Okay, lovely. And I'll get you to hit the little X over there. Parfait.